Hello my fellow smug ones. Well, I can see why they're doing it, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to be very practical. Let's begin. Okay, this story is from LBC and it says, all new homes in England will need electric charging points installed as standard by law from next year. Boris Johnson is set to announce. Well, in general, I think that's probably going to be okay for houses with their own driveways, but not for somewhere like terraced houses, for example, where you could have cars parked down the streets. And can you imagine a load of cables running out from the houses to the cars on the street? That's going to be a massive trip hazard for everyone. Where there's a blame, there's a claim. That will all be back again, won't it? Perhaps if they put them in lampposts, maybe, that might solve that issue, although I think there's a lot of thinking that needs to be done before they should really roll this out. Supermarkets and workplaces will also be expected to install charging points, with homes undergoing major renovations being forced to make upgrades too. It comes as part of an ongoing effort from the government to move motorists away from petrol and diesel vehicles. Well, to be honest, supermarkets is okay. I quite like the idea of plugging my car in and then going and doing a shop, especially if they give it to you for free as a nice little thank you for shopping there. Well, there's a Tesco's near me that actually does do that. They've only got one charging point though. But to be honest, I haven't got an electric car anyway, so it doesn't make any difference to me. And can you imagine how it'd be at work, especially with the number of employees some companies have? That would cause a massive electric bill for them, although they could actually put it onto your paycheck, couldn't they, at the end of the month? So it would just get deducted that way, and you'd probably end up never noticing the cost. If they do it that way, that is. Downing Street branded the move as world leading, with the hope of making charging an electric vehicle as easy as filling up with fuel. The legislation will be announced by Mr. Johnson during the speech at the Confederation of British Industries annual conference. Well, I reckon it'll probably take years, if not even decades, to get as fast as filling up with petrol. Although plugging it in is easy, isn't it? You just go, apparently, and that's done. Although it is okay for charging overnight at the minute, if you've got a night to spare, that is. He is expected to say, we will require new homes and buildings to have EV charging points, with another 145,000 charging points to be installed thanks to these regulations. We are investing in new projects to turn wind power into hydrogen, and our net zero strategy is expected to trigger about £90 billion of the private sector investment during the creation of high-wage, high-skilled jobs as part of our mission to unite and level up across the country. And it was previously announced that the sale of new petrol and diesel cars would end in the UK in 2030, in an attempt to reach the net zero emissions goals set out in the Paris Agreement in COP21. Well, as we're no longer members of the EU, it makes me wonder if we'll actually end up having to stick with that. And if not, then maybe they'll end up pushing it back, you know, just like they done with something else for a while. Can't think what though. YouTube's algorithm thinks you'd like to see one of these videos next, so let me know if it's right.